All right, got the votes coming in, so everyone must see it. All right. I'll give you just 10 more seconds here while people are rolling in. All right. Cool. This is a great spread. Well, here's kind of where we're at. I can show you. So we got a lot of you who are quite comfortable, people using it some, and some who need some learning. That's perfect. So one of the things I'm really excited about with the hackathon is that we're actually going to be doing a lot of education, which I'm going to tell you about. So we have a lot of sessions coming up, not just from Chipp, but from our users, from some of our partners, and we're really excited to kind of get that started. For the first time ever, we also have sponsors, and one of our sponsors is here. So I don't know, Stephanie, if you're able to come off mute or turn your camera on, we'd love to introduce you to the group. We've never done this before, but basically what we're doing is we're having sponsors and giving all the money to our competitors. So Stephanie is one of our sponsors here. She can either introduce herself in the chat or on mic. So Stephanie, if you hear this, you're welcome, but you can check out her company, which is on the post that I'll share in just a moment. So as you know, Chipp is the easiest way to make custom ChatGPTs, but we see this really interesting problem, which is that most businesses aren't using AI. Like the Economist actually had an article just last week that less than 5% of businesses are using AI right now. And that's actually down from the previous quarter. So I thought this is really fascinating because we see more and more people are playing around with AI and more people are using it personally, but fewer businesses are integrating it, which is why we have this idea of how could we create a hackathon where the goal is to help businesses actually find interesting use cases. That could be for you, your single person business, could be for a hypothetical company, it could be an actual like client project that you do, but we want to make it really easy for people to start building AI tools, which is what this hackathon is all about. So I'll tell you quickly about the logistics, then we're going to do a little brainstorming. But before we do that, I want to see where everyone is. We're going to practice our avalanche. So if you've participated with me, we like to do avalanches where people put in their answers to the chat, but you don't hit enter. So we all hit enter at the same time. So you get this energy rush. So what I'm going to ask you is to tell me where in the world you are and what you're drinking. So for example, I would say Fargo and coffee, but I'm not going to hit enter. I'm just going to type it in. So we'll give you about 10 seconds to tell us where in the world you are. And on the count of 10, then I'm going to have you all hit enter and submit. So we'll give you about 5 more seconds here while people are jumping in, getting ready. In the chat, go ahead and just put where you're calling in from, what you're drinking. And 3, 2, 1, let's go. Hit enter, and we'll see where everyone's calling in from. We got some great coverage here. We got California, Netherlands, San Francisco, Denver, Beet Juice. Chuck, you're making me feel unhealthy here. I like it. We got Cape Town. We got a couple Fargo friends, our friends in Scotland, Charlotte, Toronto, North Fiji, or is it? Oh, Fiji. Okay. I thought AJ was calling in from Fiji, but I'll take North Georgia as well. That's totally fine. Omaha. All right. Welcome. New York. Amazing. What a fun group. All over from Togo. Amazing. Fantastic to have you. I saw Stephanie came off. We'll have you chat here in just a second. We got Saudi Arabia in the house. Stanley, good to see you, man. Welcome. Awesome to have you. People jumping in. This is great. What a cool group. As you can see, AI is global, right? And we can work all across the world, and the solutions you build in the next 2 weeks can be shared with everyone here, plus businesses around the world, which we're really excited about. So we are hosting this hackathon starting today, and it is 2 weeks long, and it is a virtual hackathon, which means you just have to submit your idea to enter the hackathon. And as I mentioned, we do have sponsors this year. Stephanie, I see you. You want to give us a real quick hello and where you're calling in from? Omaha, I saw. But just introduce yourself and your company in about 15 seconds, and we're thankful for your help.
Yes, hello. Happy to be here. I am calling in from Omaha, Nebraska. I'm the founder of Bazada Tech. We're a technology company that helps everything from enterprises to startups remove friction and figure out how to get value out of their technology investments. And we're especially excited about helping with generative AI. So I'm super excited to be a sponsor and one of the judges of this event and look forward to working with all of you.
So you know where to send flowers. Just write Stephanie in Omaha, and I'm sure they'll get there. So fantastic. So this is, a love of labor, or a labor of love, I guess I should say, with lots of people. So our team is hosting this, but we're also having partners help us. So I'm going to give you the details on the hackathon, and then we'll dive into some ideas and then help you start to build. So I'm going to be showing you this page. I put the link in the chat just so you have it. And I'm going to go ahead and share my screen real quick, and we can talk through kind of what's upcoming and what you are gonna build. So here's the main page with everything that you're going to need to know about the hackathon. So as I mentioned, it's a virtual hackathon, starts today and it goes through September 9th. If you want to for sure have your entries reviewed by the judges, I recommend getting in by the 7th. I'm going to send them the top picks on the 7th. We will have the award show on the 9th. So if you're trying to win the prize, try to have it in by the 7th of September. Now, to actually submit your entry, you do it right on this page. So you can watch a little bit about this, but the main thing you're going to want as you scroll down is the submission page. So we're going to scroll down past the events, which I'll talk about in just a second, and you're going to submit your entry here. So how to enter starting August 26th. You're going to build an application using Chipp, doing anything on AI. You want to share your project, and so you can share it below. And then we also encourage you to share it on social media and use the hashtag #BuildWithChipp. That helps us to retweet it, to share it on LinkedIn. This is our chance to really get more people to your applications. We also encourage you to use 2 new features that I'll show you today, which is that you can now connect your application with other business software, and you can also create your app as a template if you want, so other people could create versions of it. So when you have an application that you're ready to submit, all you're going to do is put in the email that you used for your account, because we want to make sure to connect whatever you registered with and your email address that you have on Chipp. Your hackathon entry. So this would be like the URL of your app, right? So if I go in here to my grant writing app and I click on share, I'm going to get a share link. And this is going to be my app right there. So I'm just going to copy that. And then when I'm on here, I would just put that into the hackathon entry. Now you can put in a quick description, your name, company name if you have it. You can also put NA if you don't have a company. Whatever country you're in, because we like to give awards in different parts of the world as well and highlight that. And then any social media links for you. So this is our chance. Again, a lot of this is just to promote you, but we want to make sure that we get all the entries in by the 7th of September, and we'll have the award show on the 9th. So I'll pause right there before I go any further. What questions about logistics do you have? That's kind of the boring stuff, but want to definitely get that out of the way to make sure everyone's clear on what to do. Bottom line is make an app, share it on the forum. You can do as many as you want. So that's one thing I'll make clear. I had a few people ask me that. If you have 10, 20 ideas, that's totally fine. The way it's going to work for us, we're going to take all of these entries internally. We're going to review them, and we're going to give our top 10 to the judges, who are then going to pick from that top 10 for the top 3. So our plan right now is we have different tracks of winners. Overall, we're going to have our overall winners. That's going to be judged on 3 different things, which is on the blog post as well. It'll be judged based on ease. We want to make it easy for the businesses to use this because that's a big barrier. Second, it's going to be impact, like how much will this help the business? And that could be specific, right? So it could be, it'll help their SEO if it's an SEO tool. It'll help their, marketing, whatever it might be. And third is going to be creativity. So if you come up with new, interesting ways to use AI that people haven't seen before, that's always fun. So those are the 3 criteria we're going to be looking at the apps with. And they can be any language, any business, a single person business, a big enterprise, whatever it might be. We're going the main track, we're going to have $1,000 in every track. So first place will win $500. Second place will get $300. Third place will get $200. And then we have some sponsored tracks that I'll be announcing over the next coming days, where we have partners who are going to be giving prizes if you use their tool. So one of the fun announcements I'll have is that we're doing a session with Glide. So if you build a Chipp chat and you put it into a Glide website, you would qualify for that track. And we're going to be announcing tracks over the course of the virtual hackathon, including industry-specific verticals. So you can kind of watch for those. And if one pops up that you think you have interesting insight in, you can definitely enter into those tracks as well. And we'll just kind of judge those tracks based on your description and what it does when we review it. So let's see. So one question here from Amir, do we have to build all the ideas? So you have to have a working AI tool for whatever your idea is. So we don't just want, here's something you could build with it. We actually want you to build the thing. I'll show you today how to do that with Chipp. As many of you know who are here, it makes it really easy to build. And so that's kind of the goal, is we actually build something that businesses could go take and launch. So any other questions on logistics? Let's see. Yeah, a list of the tracks. Right now, the tracks are going to just be general and glide. And then we're looking at a potential partnership with Softer as well. And then industry tracks. That'll be like TBD. So we're kind of sharing that as we go. Cool. Good. Well, let me tell you a little bit about the education sessions, and then let's do a brainstorm. So start thinking about some of the ideas for apps that you have, and then we'll kind of hit those together. So I'm going to share my screen one more time, and I'm going to drop one link in before I do that so you guys have it. Let's see. Chipp events, calendar page. Cool. All right. So we have a Chipp calendar for all of our events. And the best way to kind of keep up with all the things, I love that idea, Dominic. Yeah, we'll do that. The best way to keep up with everything that Chipp is doing is actually subscribing to the calendar. So let me share the calendar page first, and then we'll kind of dive into each one. So I'll click in here. And when you subscribe to the calendar, you should get an alert whenever there's new events. So you can see like the AI for Business Hackathon is live and going. I apologize for Chris. I was confusing on that, but this is live from today until September 5th. So that should always be there live. Here's our hackathon that we're doing right now, the kickoff. And I realize I'm on the manage page. So let's go to the, there we go. There you go. That's what you'll see. And so you can go to any of these events and register. So yours should say register. I guess it's because I'm logged in, but we're going to start tomorrow with Prompting 101. This is going to be a great workshop if you want to learn how to best create the instructions in a AI tool. I'm going to be leading that workshop. We're going to go through the RIPE framework, branch prompting, step prompting, and give you examples. That's going to be a really good one to sign up for, to just doing the instructions. I put this link in the chat, so feel free. You can subscribe or sign in as we go. I'll send recording of every one of these to anyone who is registered. So I do encourage you to register, even if you can't be there live, just to make sure you get the email. On Wednesday, then, I'm really excited. We actually have Glide presenting with Erwin. So some of you met Erwin from the Netherlands. He did a 15-day challenge, which was really fun. So he built 15 assistants in 15 days using Chipp and Glide. So Glide is a website builder, and here's his site. So this is a Glide site. And then each one of these cards is a different Chipp AI tool. And so he built that and shared it, and it was really successful. So we wanted him to come talk about how he used Glide. And then Glide decided to join. So we'll have a session here with Glide, and that's going to be a great chance to learn how to integrate those, and you could enter that Glide track. Thursday, we're going to have Tom, who is a pro user of Chipp, share Prompt Engineering 201. So he's going to go pretty deep into advanced ways to use prompting to make your apps act different ways. And then we're really excited on Tuesday that we will officially announce our custom capabilities. I'll give you a sneak peek today, but this is going to be the ability to connect Chipp with a webhook, which really allows a lot of new integrations. Then we'll talk about SEO, and that's going to be led by Tom. And then we're going to do our showcase Monday online, so you can watch who the winners are, see all the cool things people have built. And then we're actually doing an in-person showcase as well in Chicago. So if any of you want to travel to Chicago and join me, I'll be there Tuesday to show. We do have other events coming that'll be added as we go. So I know Softer is going to be running one, and we're looking to do one with Twilio as well. And all of those events will be added then to the website as we get it going. So as you saw me scroll quickly, each one of those events will be added here on the web page. So we'll just keep updating this page. So as long as you keep this, you'll see it, and we'll make new graphics every time. So I really encourage you to take a chance to learn. This is a great chance to kind of connect, not only build something for Chipp, but also learn new skills. So that's going to be kind of our approach over the next kind of 2 weeks. Card is a really great one. Nix, if you want to lead a card session, would love to have you do that. Anybody else here who has a really strong workshop that they want to provide? If Jbro wants to do one on local SEO, happy to have you do that, or whatever it might be. I think Chuck might join in on that SEO one. Is that right, Chuck? You're going to help out with Tom? Yeah, cool. So Chuck will be there for that one as well. So this is very much an open source kind of event, as you can see. Happy to provide education so that you can connect with one another. Any questions? Feel free to drop them in here. Otherwise, we can kind of do some problem storming, I should say. So far, so good. I'll give you one sneak peek because I always like to ruin things that aren't quite live yet. But there are two features that are coming that I think you're going to get excited about if you are especially like a builder of some kind. Yeah. So one of the things that we want to do now with Chipp is make it easy to not only build things right on Chipp, but also connect it into an ecosystem of apps and software. So if you think about a business, they have a lot of workflows they already use. And so how do we just get AI into that so they can, write emails faster, copy edit faster, create content, and not have to change how they work? So there's two ways to now do that with Chipp. These are a little bit more on the advanced end and are available for pro users, but I want to show you those so you kind of see what's possible. So I'm into my Chipp app, and I'll kind of go back and show Chipp from the beginning. But for the more advanced users, we do have the ability now, if you're pro, to get an API key. So an API key here will allow you to connect Chipp into different sites like WhatsApp or Make, and that'll allow you to do a lot of interesting kind of builds. We also have the ability now that I'll launch on Tuesday to do what are called custom capabilities. So a custom capability is essentially the ability to use webhooks to integrate Chipp. So the one that I built as a test is an email generator. And what I'm doing here is I'm actually connecting it into Zapier. And on Zapier, then I have a simple flow that Zapier is going to catch my hook, and then it's going to create an outbound email, right? And so this is a really simple step where I can have Chipp write all of my emails, and then it's going to actually, draft them for me. And you can start to think about really big opportunities then with kind of this webhook capability. So we're tuning that up this week. And the goal is that everything will be live before next Tuesday when we host that event. But for those of you who are familiar with webhooks, I think this provides a lot of interesting capabilities. This will actually be a tool that's called within Chipp. So just like you do image generation or web browsing or anything that calls a tool like a file, it'll be the same thing, and it'll actually capture it automatically. So by adding a title and a description, the AI is going to figure out when you need this. So in my case, in my chat, if I say, can you make this an email? It'll actually call up my tool, automatically send it through to Zapier. I don't even have to leave Chipp. So that's going to be kind of the cool feature that we're excited to launch. So that's sort of the advanced look. Let's look real quick at building with Chipp and then dive into some of our problem storming. So if you're fairly new to Chipp or to AI, we want to make it really easy for you to just solve problems, right? To create something to solve a specific issue. And so you just go to chipp.ai to sign up. So this is what it looks like after you click sign up. And once you get in here, you can create applications. I'm going to go ahead and click create an application. And now on here, I have a really simple builder experience. So I might say I'm going to be an SEO tool, and I can create get keywords, right? And then here's the instruction. So the instruction is where I can tell it what to do. That's what we'll talk a little bit about tomorrow, is the RIPE framework. So you give it a role. If you're a helpful assistant, your job is to identify keywords, write in short sentences with emojis. And here's an example of a good keyword list. Example of a good keyword list, right? Then I could add in a keyword list. So now this is already a trained SEO tool, right? I don't even have to do anything else. Even more powerful though is going into the knowledge source, and then we can give it information that'll help train it. So if there's a YouTube video about SEO, if there's a document, like I will export a keyword list from Ahrefs, put it in here, and it could look at those keywords, a URL. This is a really fast way to train your AI tool. And now you've already built it. Obviously, you probably want to improve it, but we're going to just go ahead and click share. And now you can either share a link directly to that tool. You can embed it. So this would be using it in Card or Frame or Framer or Softer or Glide. You can copy that embed. You could also create it as a widget. So this will be like a little speech bubble in the bottom right. And we even have SMS capability now where you can text into it. Now, a lot of you have built businesses on Chipp, and that's where you can go into the sell tab and actually sell credits. So you can give people free credits to try it. Let's say 10. You can create a Stripe account, and then you'll get paid into that and choose, what to charge people. One of the powerful features is actually seeing what people say. So this chat log allows you to see all the conversations, so you can improve the tool. You can always turn that on or off if you don't want to, be tracking. You can just shut that off. And then if you're a pro user, you can even put it on your own domain, right? So you can set up chat.scottmeyer.com. I can get an API key. And then I can also switch models if I'm a pro user. So when I'm on here, I could say I actually want to use Claude Sonnet, which we have found is really good for conversational work, versus GPT, which is maybe more systematic, and Gemini, which is really good at really long context windows. So that's a real quick look at how we can build. We also have the ability to send any of this out as a spreadsheet, so we can get contact details onto a sheet. And I know JBro's done some of that. So that's a real quick look at how you build with Chipp. The last thing I want to show you is our marketplace. And you can always get to this at app.chipp/explore. So if you just go here, and this is actually a great way to start. So if you're wanting to get started with the hackathon, you don't know what to do, you can just go in here and find a template that's available. So for example, I created a AI protege, which is just a way to create a content writer that sounds like you. And you can just click into any of these templates, and some of them have the ability to duplicate, like this one. So I can actually just click duplicate this template. And now that's going to create that exact template with the entire prompt, everything in it, in my Chipp account. So you could go to the Explore page, search template, or search, digital protege or SEO or whatever the thing is you want to build, and see if there's any templates to start with. Because now you could take this, and what you can see is this template has kind of a bracket where you customize it, right? So this would be a really easy way to build your first app for the hackathon. Just go in here, duplicate the protege, and then tweak it to a business or to yourself. And now you have a functional app that's, kind of well-trained already. And so that's going to be a really nice way to kind of build things quickly. So I'm going to grab the link to that marketplace. It's at the top, when you're logged in, you can always get to it that way too. But that's going to be a nice shortcut to build your first apps. So I don't want to spend too much time tutorial style, but that is sort of a quick way. So let's see what questions and ideas people have. So Amir, you can export chat logs to Sheets or download as a CSV. So really great way. I've seen a lot of teachers and coaches do that. You could imagine having your students or your clients use an AI tool, and then between meetings, you're able to see what their questions are and help them. Let's see what else. You don't have to have Pro to use Chipp or to enter the hackathon, but you do have to have Pro for the API. Yeah, so that's correct, Chris. Perfect. Yep, that all sounds right. Make is another alternative for kind of automation. A little bit cheaper, I think, is what I've heard. I know that Stanley's building with that. I don't know if you have any comments, Stanley, or on using Make, recommended, or what would you tell people as a way to get started?
Yeah, I think for me, Make is a lot easier, although I do use Zapier every now and then, but I find Make a lot easier and user intuitive. Although there's the documentation on Notion, definitely need to update that because there's a few things that we need to adjust in terms of connecting, retrieving API keys and where to place them to establish a connection. But yeah, Zapier is great, but I recommend Make because it's more versatile.
Perfect. Yeah, you got some agreement here in the chat. Looks like Ricardo and Ms. Friday as well. Is it Jessica? I keep saying, or you want to be? Should I call you Jay? Sorry, I just want to give you the appropriate props. Jess or Jay? Perfect. All right. Yes, fantastic. Great stuff. We don't have a hackathon discount code right now, but I'm open to it, Chris. Write me with your hackathon entry, and I'll write you back. We'll figure something out. Cool. Well, that is kind of a quick overview. And what I want to do next is really help you guys come up with things that we could solve for this hackathon, is to give you something to go build. And I think you could even do it, in the next half hour to get started, right? So what we're going to do is I'm going to give you 2 minutes, and I'm going to play this game that I used to do with my entrepreneurship students, which is taking ideas to the extreme. So I'm going to give you 2 minutes, and I want you to think of 3 problems that you might want to solve. So this would be a problem you have, a problem somebody that you have worked with has, just 3 problems that you might want to solve. I'll give you 2 minutes. Thanks for those, AJ. More options there. I'll put some music on, and I'll give you 2 minutes to come up with ideas. Yeah.
So when I was talking to my girlfriend about the hackathon, and trying to get some problems and ideas. She says she just wants money. And I was like, oh yeah, I can build an assistant. She's like, no, I don't want to do anything. I just want the money.
So the problem is making money?
Yeah, making money.
All right, give you one more minute. Think of 3 problems that you think could be solved by AI potentially. So an example might be, yeah, a business not knowing what to write about, right? It could be being overwhelmed after Zoom meetings, needing to take notes from it. It could be trying to plan a new business, figuring out how to incorporate in the UK, making travel plans. These are all examples of like specific small problems. Give you about 30 more seconds. All right, I'm going to turn on the soundboard. Give me a sound if you are finished. Go ahead and you can click into the soundboard. Some of you have found that before under the React tab. I have to use it sparingly. All right, somebody has an air horn. They're done.
I'm going with that one. It's hilarious.
There we go. There we go. There we go. Awesome. Cool. All right. So now you found the soundboard, and some of you hopefully have some problems. Cool. So our next task is we're going to take one of these problems that you have, and we're going to kind of play with it. So the next step, I'm going to give you 60 seconds, and I want you to think about, what if this problem was 3 times smaller? So if my problem is, I don't know what to write about, if I was going to make that 3 times smaller, it might be, I don't know what subject line to create, or I don't know what topic to write about, right? If my problem was getting notes after a Zoom meeting, it might be like, the smaller version of that is, who should I even send these notes to, right? Instead of even worrying about the notes part, like just solving a very small bit of it. So yeah, I'll give you about 60 seconds here. Think about how you make one of your problems 3 times smaller. So take the idea you have, I'll make it 3 times smaller. About a little bit smaller there too, like with 3 times smaller, it could be just one piece of information, right? Good one, Kyle. This is AI music. It's not. It's actually Wolfbeck, but it kind of feels like AI music. Good one, Stanley. Yep. So onboarding is taking it smaller. Cool. All right, I'll give you about 15 more seconds to finish the small version of your problem. All right. So now our next challenge. You can post it there. That's fine, Jay. So the next challenge, take that idea again, go back to the original. Now I want you to make it 3 times bigger, right? So we went super small. So instead of writing a blog post, how do I write a subject line? Now what if I go 3 times bigger? Instead of how do I write a blog post, how do I write an ebook? Or how do I create an entire web page, right? Or how do I don't know, write a bedtime story, right? So what's something that's maybe 3 times bigger than your initial idea? So instead of taking patient information, which was, I think, Renee's, how do we take all the information from a hospital and analyze it or something like that? If I'm JBro and I'm helping a local business with their SEO, how would I go 3 times bigger and instead help every car dealer in the United States, right? So I'll give you a minute. Try to take your idea and blow it up 3 times bigger. And what we're going to find is, like, we often constrain ourselves to a certain size and version. And what we're trying to do is explore how big and small could an idea get. So let's try to go 3 times bigger. love that system, mapping systems. Right. Buck has Chipp that helps consultants build proposals, right? So it's train the trainer, right? Instead of just helping one client. It's good. It's good. Yep. Great, Renee. That's awesome. Hey, May. That's right. Can't wait for you to build that. I'm so excited. All right. I'll pause them while I give the instructions and you're good. All right, so now we have a problem. We have a small version of the problem. We have a big version of the problem. So now I want you to, if you haven't already, put your favorite problem version, whichever of those three, into the chat. So I'll give you about 15 seconds. We'll do we don't have to do it avalanche style. We can just put it in. So some of you already put it in. Chris just put it in. That's great. Whichever one you think, this is a problem that needs to get solved. And you don't have to have the answer. That's fine. If it's just a problem. Let's see what other problems we got. Just right. There you go. Yeah. All right. Let's see if we got any other problems to highlight here. Okay. So we got an IT helper for teachers. Perfect. Client onboarding. Fantastic. Good. Perfect. Yep. Content flows. Fantastic. Cool. All right. So we got some really good problems cooking here. So the next thing I want to think about is how can we force ourselves to think differently of attacking this problem? So I'm going to give you a couple constraints. And the reason we do this is this idea known as the idea cliff. So in research, it's shown that we often think we have a good idea, but it's usually because it's the first idea or one of the first ideas we get. And we think, okay, that you get locked in on your very first thing and you just think, I'm going to do that. So what we want to do is have lots of ideas. One of the ways to do that is add different constraints to make us think of more ideas. And some of those will be crazy. Some of them will be good. AI is a fantastic creativity partner for something like this, asking it to give you constraints. But I'm going to give you two to come up with different solutions. So take the problem that you picked. So the diet buddy for everyone, like Ricardo just put in. Now, I want you to think about how would you solve this problem by Friday? So you have 4 days. What are you going to build that will solve this problem by Friday? It can involve Chipp. It could be other things. It could be, how you're going to connect Chipp out. What is the thing that's going to solve this problem in 4 days, right? So you have a huge time constraint. I'll give you 1 minute to think about what that solution looks like if you only have 4 days. Where does it live? What information do you need? Ian's getting me ready for my next constraint. That's fantastic. Ask for help is great. That's a good prompt. I'll make sure you're all in our Discord or Slack community, whichever one is comfortable for you. And that's where you get a lot of help. All right, what are you going to do by Friday? All right, about 10 more seconds. I dropped the links to Discord and Slack, so if you do want to ask for help, that's a perfect place. Discord is much more active, so if you have both, I would recommend Discord. And there's a channel in there called Help Me Build, I think it's called. So that's a great place to get help. So fantastic. All right. So now we've talked about what are we doing by Friday. Now I want you to assume that in addition to the time constraint, you have $0, right? So you have no money to do this and a short amount of time. What's the smallest version you could do to solve this problem? So I'll give you 1 more minute. You have 4 days and no money. You can assume you already have whatever you have. So if you have a computer and you have a Chipp account and you have Zapier or whatever, you can use things you already have, just no additional funding. What can we do? There you go. Good stuff. Good ideas. All right. The last constraint on top of our time and money is collaborators. Who is someone you need to make this a success? So this could be someone in your network. It'd be someone super famous, right? It'd be great for all of us, I guess, if Elon tweeted whatever we built. But give us a range here. Someone in this community, like who do you need to help you build this? And what's great is we can help connect you to some of those people. So ideally, it's not a specific person, but more of a type of person. And then we can help unearth those people in our community during this hackathon for you. So think about who would you need to make this idea a reality, or what skills might you need to make this reality? I'll give you 1 more minute. Testers, that's great. Me, that's perfect. Developers, testers, awesome. Well, this is giving me ideas for how we can help you guys. Tom, if you're doing SEO stuff, Chuck, Tom, or J-Bro or Alton in that world. Or superintendents, fantastic. No, Nix was talking about that, so Danelle, you guys should definitely connect. Home buyers, fantastic. Health and HIPAA, I've been researching Renee. I don't know if I'm an expert, but happy to help. Cool. Fantastic. All right. Great idea. So what we just did is an exercise in creative thinking, or kind of taking an idea, trying to shrink it, trying to expand it, thinking about what are the missing pieces, thinking about how can we move quick. So part of the value of a hackathon, I think, it gives you community to build with, and it gives you a time constraint, right? Like you have to be done by the 7th if you want to be entered into to win. So that's part of the beauty, I think, of kind of a hackathon, is forcing that constraint on you. So let's go around. Anyone who's willing, let's take maybe 2 or 3 of these live and hear what you're trying to build, and then we'll have you kind of share and get some advice. So I know Patrick jumped in, and as I mentioned at the beginning and in the blog post, we'll be picking the winners based on ease, based on impact, and based on creativity. So great one. And Serge is in the house. You want to say hi, Serge? Great to see you. He was building.
See how many of you guys were showing up for this hackathon. Super excited to be building with you guys, and yeah, looks like you've been having some fun already without me. I'm jealous.
Yeah, we've been hitting it hard. So so cool. So I'm going to go ahead and just let whoever wants to go first go off mute and share. Anyone who joined after kind of our logistics, I just put the website in that has everything on it, but I'll also send a follow-up email to everyone who registered here. And based on your ideas, I think what I'll do is also, if you need something, tell me on Discord or Slack, and I'm going to add that in our email. So every day I'm going to send a follow-up email from our event and tell people what the next event is. And if you have a needs, I'll just start a section of the email with needs and your name and let people connect with you that way. And then of course we can always take it on Discord as well, but that'll at least get you to a larger audience. So if you have specific needs, once you build something, let me know. So who's brave and wants to share their idea from what we've kind of brainstormed today to get feedback or help? Anybody want to raise their hand and try?
I don't have an idea. That's
Right. Yeah. Do you have one, Nix? Yeah, go for it.
Sorry, did I butt in? I'm so sorry.
No, it's great. It's great. Go for it.
So I just wanted some help because I really got excited when I see that it can integrate with WhatsApp. And in South Africa, that's a really powerful place to do business. So with my limited knowledge base, I was like, relying on ChatGPT and Claude, and I was asking them how to do it. And I went to webhooks and I used the Zapier route, but I'm trying to say that I got stuck. So I would love it if anybody could do like a how-to guide for me, because whatever I build, that's my path. I'm gonna work with Rapid and WhatsApp,
Yeah, we will. So before Tuesday, we're going to have tutorials on WhatsApp and Make, because I think those are the two that we've heard the most from. And that also will connect in with our new capabilities. So I know we've had some people build it. And Stanley, you kind of mentioned that the documentation was weak on Make, or there were some issues there too. So I know that, for example, Dominic in here, Stanley are very familiar with using those tools. So those would be two people you could also reach out to. I don't know if you have any quick words, Stanley, while all the questions on the table.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think specifically for Make, so I'm just pretty much finishing up the integration this evening. So a few things I've just learned is, one, understanding essentially how to synchronize your connection. So understanding the key parts of the Chipp integration, what information you need from Chipp, how to pass that into Make, of course, the API key. And then when you receive the message, knowing what to do with the message. Essentially, you need to thread the message, which is good for organization. So these are the things I'm picking up and learning as I am integrating. So hopefully by today or tomorrow, I should be able to formulate my knowledge around the Make and Chipp integration, not necessarily Zapier, but hopefully I can jump on Zapier later.
Yeah, that's amazing. So one thing, if you guys have any education material you make, please put the hashtag build with Chipp on it, and then we'll share it everywhere. So that's a great way for us to drive you kind of awareness and traffic, and then also for us to share it with this bigger community. And then we also have different channels in Discord that will share that stuff out. So that's a very generous, Stanley. Appreciate you doing that, and excited to see what you build too. So let's head over to Danella. I think you had a comment or an idea maybe to get some feedback on.
So working on education, been in education for 30 years, trying to make it more of a huddle than a hierarchy. Everyone's tired of going to meetings and listening to people talk for an hour. And so trying to get principals, superintendents, and lead from the middle to get the teacher voice. The other half of it is onboarding for new teachers, giving them something in their hand that when they have trouble, they can ask a question and get a response based on whatever the goals are for the district. So if they're working on station rotation or blended learning models, imagine we upload everything there is on whatever they're working on, and then they can get an answer at their fingertips. So that's about where I am at the moment.
Perfect. Well, if we have any educators in the room who want to help out or collaborate, we're open to creative solutions. So if you want to build something with somebody else and enter together, we love that. There's, as you can tell, the rules are very purposefully vague, because we don't want to stifle your creativity, right? We're just trying to get people to build and share. And I think this is a great opportunity. We will be highlighting these as they get built. So if you are trying to build a business or trying to build traffic on something, this is going to be a really unique opportunity. We're actually at our live showcase. It's kind of piggybacking on top of a venture capital event. So there should be a number of VCs as well, seeing these, which is kind of fun. So, who knows what happens, right? We'll get in front of a lot of people, and hopefully they can reach out to you and connect. So perfect. Chuck, you had an idea to talk about AI roadmaps. I love this.
Yeah. So when I talk to businesses, they get all excited about AI, but they either overshoot the use case and turn it into a big problem, or else they find something that can be automated but doesn't have impact. So I'd like to be able to figure out how they could interact with Chipp to brainstorm and select their first 5 use cases that we could potentially build for them. So it's kind of like they could shop for chips. Yeah,
that's amazing. You're going to love a feature we have coming out very soon. I hate to put a date on it, but I'll say Monday. Because I love putting my eng team under pressure. But we're coming out with what we call AI creator pages. And so in the very near future, you can have a page that will be, chipp.ai/Chuck, and that'll have your apps that you've built and published to the marketplace. So if that's something that is helpful for, say, a business to go in, and you can just say, hey, go to my page, start using this app that I built, and that's your lead gen, is how I would think about it. I think that could be a really good kind of way to use it. So
Scott, I wanted to give Chick a little piece of advice. In education, the same thing happens. It's sexy. They're trying all these AI tools, but they're kind of just swimming in the mud. One thing that has been tremendously helpful is helping them come up with kind of like an inquiry question, like what Scott just did with us. What problem are you trying to solve? Then it narrows the AI they're playing with, and it becomes relevant.
From what's possible to what's needed, right? Kind of something like that. Yeah. Yeah, I know, Dominic, you work with a lot of businesses trying to scope stuff, so I'm sure you have thoughts there too. But yeah, I think I would encourage all of you, as you build these, share them in the community and get feedback before you enter it, right? So like you can put these live, test them out, and then put them onto the Chipp form to get them actually entering to get them to enter. Great question from AJ. How many subdomains can you create? It's one subdomain per app, but it's unlimited subdomains for pro users. So if you want to make the same app with multiple subdomains, you would just have to make new versions of it. So just make another app, same instructions, copy paste over, and then you can make a new subdomain. So for pro users, what we're talking about is having it go to chat.scottdavidmeyer.com, for example. That just helps you brand it yourself. So, and Nick said, yeah, helping a friend who's a yogi, booking chatbot. Fantastic. Okay, that sounds good too. Well, let me show you one more piece that I was just kind of teasing, and then we can kind of have kind of our closing thoughts. So as I mentioned, we have some AI creator pages coming. If you want to get it as soon as it's live, all you need to do is click on your name or your profile, and then click on this new section called profile. And then this is where you can claim your username. So, you would just put in, for example, I would do like Scott David Meyer, right? And then click update. Once this is live, when people sign up for Chipp, it'll create it when they sign up. But if you already have an account and you want to keep, the apps you've built and have those be on your page, just make sure you do this before next Monday. And then this will go live with whatever you've put on the marketplace. So you can still have private apps that aren't shared on this, but just so you kind of know where that's at. And then as we were talking about domains, if you are interested in doing that, we have the tutorial underneath the applications and the settings tab. There we go. And so you'll just have to put in your domain here, like chat.scottdavidmeyer.com. And then the main thing is I have to put this information in my DNS, so where my domain is. So happy to help you. That video should help you see that as well. So we got a lot coming up. Tomorrow we'll start with prompting, and then we'll move into putting Chipp chats into websites like Glide. We'll go advanced with SEO and advanced prompting, and we have some more partnerships that we'll be announcing in the coming days. So really excited to see what you all build. As a reminder, when you have something you want to submit, please put it onto the form on this webpage, and we'll keep sharing this every day. If you have something you need help with, I love this idea of you guys writing me and just telling me what you're looking for. And I'll just kind of start like sort of like a misconnections, right? Here's what I wish that I had, or here's what I wish I could find, and help you guys connect with one another. So really fun to have you all here. So fun to build with you all. We love taking your ideas and advice. You can use, more, Patrick, you can have as many submissions as you want. So I'd love to see as many as possible. We'll be highlighting these to our huge community as they come in. So the earlier you come in, the more press time you get. That'll be the carrot for going fast. Yeah, going to be so fun. So if you're not already, find us on Discord and Slack. I put those links up above, and you can always reach out. I'll send an email with everything I talked about. And if you can't make any of the education sessions coming up, but you want the recording, just make sure you sign up, because I'll send emails to those people. Fargo build session, I'm ready anytime. Actually, we should just restart Fargo AI. I think that could be the same thing. So lastly, we do have ambassadors on the call from other parts of the world. So Nix is our South African Chipp chapter leader. And I'm trying to see, I think Ian was at the meeting, or maybe could be. And anything you want to say, Nix? We're trying to get people to host events locally as well. So encouraging other people to do it.
I literally actually had coffee today with Ian, who's here.
Oh, great.
And I was just saying, like, I'm super amped because, yeah, people are definitely waking up here in Cape Town, and it's just a case of getting it. I must get my ducks in a row and start doing more events.
That's fantastic. We are happy to support. So if you have a community that's interested in AI, let us know so we can help support. I know we got people here in Togo and in Saudi Arabia and in Netherlands, wherever it is. So if there's tech communities, and it can be, as small as 8-10 people, let us know. We do have channels on our Discord for each of our Chipp chapters that are officially started. So I know there's one in South Africa and Brazil and India and Australia, Canada. So let us know if you want to start your own or connect with any of those. They can be virtual or in person. We have a LATAM one for everyone in Latin America. So that's a great way. All right, May knows Portuguese. Cool, fantastic. Well, what a fun group. It's not every day I get to hang out with people probably spanning the globe and everybody wanting to build together. So Amir, if you can jump over to Discord and message me, I'll help you get that. I'll put that link in one more time. If anybody isn't in there, just make sure you hit me up there. And we can't wait to see what you build. So it has officially started. I needed where was the boxing bell? Yeah. All right. Now we're officially started. The hackathon is open. I can't wait to see what you guys build. I'll turn on the sound. Give us a sound on the way out or a GIF. And we can't wait to collaborate. I'll turn on a voice channel on Discord. That's a great idea. Yeah, let's go, everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right. We will see you soon. Great work. Can't wait to see what you build.